They call you Mr. Wonderful.
That's because it's true.
Why are you so wonderful?
You know, I just tell the truth all the time.
I am funding your growth for you
Yes.
and getting a pretty decent return for doing it, but no equity. If you hit it out of the park, it's all yours.
He's right.
I got it.
Right.
He's right. I've never, ever, ever in my entire
have
life
never heard
said
a deal
Mr.
from him
Wonderful
like that.
offered a good deal.
You know what you're doing a phony royalty deal.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not.
Something else.
If you have
It's
something
the same
better,
thing.
you don't have any creativity, Barbara.
You've come out and said that of all the businesses you've invested in, the only ones that have been making any money are the ones run by women.
I have 32 private companies in my portfolio. Many of them came from the Shark Tank investments I've made. And back in December of 2014, going through the year-end audit, and what we learned, and it was very interesting data, was that not some of my returns, all of my returns were coming from companies either owned or run by women. So that was extremely interesting for me because I'm not into, gender warfare. I don't care. I would give a goat money if I could make money with a goat.
What is it,
So
Kevin?
here's what I think.
Why are we so good?
Because women set goals that are achievable in business. They don't take inordinate risk and set goals that nobody can achieve. When you set goals for your employees that you can achieve, that generally builds morale. It gets better results.
You've said, for example, last year, women make better CEOs, all things being equal. Given the choice between a woman and a man, I would pick a woman every time.
Yes, I
When did
would.
that light go off in your head?
Because my own experience has been that when I put capital at risk with women, I get it back. That's what I've learned. And so my natural propensity, given that fact, agnostic to geography, agnostic to sector. These are businesses all over America. They're in all kinds of different areas and different things. And the women-run or owned ones send me checks. I get my money back.
Do you think you've always been fair to women in business? Before this light went off in your head, when you look back, Kevin, at your career, did you maybe not give some women the shot they deserved?
It's a fair question, and you're right. Years ago, when I would put risk capital out, particularly in my venture portfolio, I tended to do what the industry has done, favor men just because those were the ones that were getting funded. That is not what I do today. My results are basically black and white. They are telling me that in America today, we are not using enough women in management. There is no question about that.
So why are we paid less?
That is basically a legacy issue. The compensation committee, because I've been on lots of boards and public companies, on the comp committee, the audit committee, the first thing we do is go hire a consultant and say, get me all the comparables, which is a mistake. We should be paying on performance. So what happens is they run around, they find all the equivalent female executives in that role and say, here's the pay packages, which makes no sense.
Did your mother play any role in influencing you in all of this?
Yes. My mother changed my whole philosophy about investing, and she was a very strong woman. And she'd take my brother and I to the bank and always say to us, I didn't know what she was saying at the time, but it stuck with me. I was 7, my brother was 5 when this started. She'd say, boys, never spend the principal, only the interest. And never buy a stock or bond that doesn't pay a dividend or interest. And she would drive that home. Now, decades later, when she passed away, I discovered an account, a secret account that she'd kept secret from both of her husbands for 45 years, invested in dividend-paying stocks and bonds of telco companies. She beat every advisor. Wow. So now I take that same philosophy at all my companies.
Thank you, Mom.
Yeah.
You have 32 companies in your private portfolio. 52% have female CEOs. Yeah. Do you invest in companies because they are led by women, or is this just a result of what you've seen?
In a private company, it's not the CEO that matters, it's the ownership. If you look at who's really running them in the ownership structure, it's the women that are most concerned about risk mitigation. In other words, let's not spend that money. It's not a good idea. Let's mitigate our risk and not bring out too many products this quarter. Let's set a goal for this new product that we can achieve, because she knows that if you achieve it, the morale of the company moves up.
All right, I'm selling cupcakes, wicked good cupcakes.
Versus my men companies are all swinging for the fences, trying to do stuff that, well, it's okay if we make half of our goal, that's good. I want to make 110% of our goal. So I've been teaching some of the the successes I find in my women-led or owned companies to the men saying, look, you see this company? It's returned 110% of the capital I invested in 2 years. You've given me nothing. Why don't you talk to her and find out how she did it? Because, you know, I'm pragmatic.
How did they take that?
Too bad. I don't care. I want performance. Why shouldn't I? I'm an investor.
Are you saying to the men that run companies that you're invested in, think more like the women?
What I tell them is mitigate risk like the women. Look at the way they're setting goals like the women. Look at the returns I'm getting like these women.
So you are.
Companies. Of course I am, because I have pragmatic results. I've got actual tangible results. Be like a woman and get me some returns.
Do you believe that there are some things in business that men do better than women?
I haven't found anything lately, I'm sorry.
Nothing?
Not in my returns lately. Not in the last 8 years.